Hi, everybody. It's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and your Akashic Records advisor. How's everybody doing tonight? It is April the 6th of 2021, and seriously, I cannot believe that we're this far along in the year. This is like totally and completely awesome. So, anyway, I am. There we go. Getting a little bit better about going forward with all this fabulous technology at our fingertips so we can get on here and do the most amazing things. So welcome aboard, everybody. I'm so excited and happy to see everybody. And let's see here. And so tonight, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about Akashic Records and self-love. So get ready, everybody, because my guides have been working with me on some really leading edge technology. Now, have people before worked with self-love and Akashic Records? Of course they have. But we keep upping the game as we're in the age of Aquarius and new things to do and ways to approach things. So we're going to talk about that. So stick close. Then we're going to talk about, a little bit before that, we're going to talk about these other energy fluctuations that are going on and how highly sensitive and empathic people are feeling right now, what we're desiring to do, because my mission, one of my missions is to let you know that you're not alone. And so I've talked to so many people this week and last week and these energy fluctuations, and they're like, and they don't know what to do. So if that's you, stay tuned. And as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them down here in the feed. I'll answer those just a little bit later. And so hi to Deborah and hi to Carol. Thanks for joining us tonight. So I've got some questions for you. And if this is not you, just hang on because you might know somebody who's going through this exact thing. So my question is, have you had a deep sense that it is time to forgive yourself for waiting so long to dump a toxic relationship? Can I get a show of thumbs or a thumbs up for how many of you right now have been having this feeling deep down inside in the gut that it is time to forgive yourself for having waited so long to dump a toxic relationship? There are a lot of folks out there that have had toxic relationships with their parents, with siblings, with significant others, with husbands, and with wives. And for a while, we've been able to tolerate it or put our best face on or our best foot forward. And what has happened is that since we've gone through COVID, we've had some super tight living quarters with COVID, then we've learned that some of our relationships just aren't sustainable. And so now in the post-COVID environment, we are beginning to see people starting to end tolerance and end relationships. Am I promoting that you end a relationship? No, I'm talking to the folks that know they're already on this hairy edge. They're at the crossroads. I actually texted back and forth with a gal today. She's at the crossroads. And so the signs are there. The signs are there for those of you that really should or could, I don't like to use the word should, be ready to take that next step. And you keep feeling this building up within you and building up within you. The good news is that the energies in the stars and the planets and the records right now are supporting that shift. They are supporting us getting rid of toxic relationships out of our lives. And so if you're like, oh, I don't have any of those, that's fine. Maybe you have a toxic relationship with money. Maybe you have a toxic relationship with food. Anyway, right now, the way the energy frequencies are, you're going to see them going up for like, maybe a day, and then they kind of just steady out. And basically, they are asking us to dump toxic relationships, to let go of the roller coaster ride of being blamed for someone else's bad behavior, for feeling off balance because you were yelled at for standing up for yourself. Anybody recognize that? So, recognizing these patterns seems to take the longest amount of time. And when you finally do, you feel like you should have seen them sooner. You're emotionally entangled in whatever that relationship is, so it's hard to leave. You're emotionally drained, and your self-esteem and your self-love are almost non-recognizable. Can I get a thumbs up for anybody who's feeling like that right now? And what is happening with our planet right now, the shifts, the energies, they're stimulating the part of the brain that recognizes self-love. It stimulates self-awareness. And so this, combined with coming out of COVID and being cooped up with other people for too long, is setting the platform for us to be able to transform our lives, to shed the negative energy, to move forward. So the first step in any of this, if this is you, is to realize that recovery means accepting that you've been victimized. And if you say, well, I'm not really, because I have a bad relationship with food, or I have a bad relationship with money, well, that comes from the synapses, that comes from back here, from some sort of not so happy treatment in your childhood. So it's up to you to work that out and discover what happened to you. Why are you programmed that way? Who set that going forward? Because that's a victimized relationship. It also means grieving the loss. If you're in a relationship that's toxic and, you're tired of feeling off balance or getting blamed for somebody else's poop, it means grieving the loss of that relationship when you step out. And it means taking your power back. And again, the reason I'm talking about this, what does this self-love action have to do with Akashic Records? Good question. Right now, the universe is aligning the planets pretty much all on one side in the forward position, which gives us the greatest momentum to come out of anything that's toxic, to come out of anything that doesn't promote self-love, self-worth, and self-value. And some of us are pretty deep down in that hole. And it might take 2 or 3 times to kind of get you out of there, right? So that's what's going on. And all of those things that have happened to you in this life are, generally speaking, things that you didn't resolve somewhere else. A past life, another dimension, a parallel life, or even a future life. And all those things in the here and now, your divine self, your higher self is like, woohoo, here is a clearing ground, let's go for it. And so basically all that energy is coming down into your current life, into your current here and now. And you have the opportunity to supersize, clearing all your old karma up from many different lifetimes. It is amazing. The universe is making that available to you for a clean sweep to close up old accounts and to lift you up towards the new heaven and the new earth. If you want to know more about this, we're going to cover this in greater detail tomorrow on the inner circle. So if you're interested and you're like, ooh, that sounds like an interesting subject, and you'd like to get a little bit deeper about to the new heavens, the new earth, and what all this means, and how can I get this straightened around? How can I cash in on this, so to speak? Then I'm going to ask you to go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on Energy Shift Inner Circle and join our circle. It's a month-to-month program. If you get on the first month and you decide you don't like it, that's fine. But I think you're going to love it. In fact, I know you're going to love it because you're going to get so much support from all the other people in the group. Everybody comes together, they talk about it, they share their ideas, they share sometimes their fears, and then there's a nice support page for you to share more after our once a week meeting. So I look forward to seeing those of you that are just a little bit curious about what's happening now and how does that affect me on a weekly basis. All right, moving on. So right now, the Akashic Records are being made very, very accessible across a lot of time, space, dimensions, realities, because your divine self knows this is the time to line everything up and flesh it out. This is it. Yes, we'll continue to work on yourselves. As long as you have a human body, you will continue to work on yourself. But what a great way. This is like, I don't want to use it quite, but it's almost like bankruptcy. You get everything declared and washed out and you start again clean. But it's not spiritually bankrupt. It's actually the opposite. It's spiritually uplifting. So for those of you that are ready to take your power back, you're like, I have so had enough of handing my power away to these toxic relationships, feeling off balance, having to explain myself, having the come to Jesus meeting, so to speak. If you're having to have those kind of conversations in a relationship, it is not a relationship. It is a one-way street. Wake up and smell the coffee. A relationship has conflict, but two people work it out. They meet in the middle. They don't blame, they don't shame, and they don't triangulate. And triangulate, for those of you that don't know, is the person who is doing the abusing or perpetrating or victimizing will take something and say, oh, this is so much better than you could ever hope to be. And here you are going, right? That's what it looks like. And sometimes it's not that blatant, and it takes us a while to pick up that trail, to pick up that pattern. And once we finally pick up that pattern, we say to ourselves, how could I have been so silly? How could I have not seen this? Well, my dears, if you've never been abused, if you've never been in an abusive relationship, a narcissist, a sociopath, a psychopathic relationship, you don't know what you don't know. And that's what's happening. So for those of you that are just waking up that your relationships are truly toxic, whatever that looks like, whoever it's with, it is time for you to activate that self-love and get yourself into the next space. The next space. And if you're having trouble doing that, I am having this coming up Tuesday, a week from today. I'm going to be giving a class. It's only an hour and a half, might run into 2 hours, but it's called Begin Your New Story Now, because a lot of you are like, I'm drowning and I don't know how to love myself and I don't know what to do next. I've been there. When you're in that position, you don't know which way is up. Been there. So what I'm offering is this coming up Tuesday, a week from today at 7 p.m. So the Tuesday night live that you're seeing right now, if you're live on Facebook with me, will be earlier. So usually we do it at 7:30. So we're going to do it at 6 o'clock. And I'll put out some reminders on that. But we're going to craft how to begin your new story. Now, I'm going to share a secret that the book, The Secret, didn't share. And, you can manifest and you can say, oh, this is what I want, this is what I want, or this is what I desire. And you focus, focus, focus. And then you don't get it. And you're like, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. It's about your vibration. It's about your frequency. It's about who you are in the moment. And if your frequency matches what you're desiring, you're going to get it in great amounts. It's awesome. But if you're not at that vibration, it's not going to be a match. Period. So you've got to get your brain, your mind oriented in the right direction to move you into that space. And so I have a very simple process, and it only takes a few minutes every single day. And you can create it for whatever you desire. You can use the system once you learn it over and over and over and over for whatever you desire. But it will help you to write your new story, get it moving in the right direction so you can receive what you desire. And how many of you out there are so lost in this post-COVID world? You don't know what the heck to do. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you lost your place to live. Maybe you lost or are going to lose a relationship. And you're like, I don't know what to do after this. I get it. I had been there. I had been on that hairy edge where all I knew was, I don't want to be here. Here sucks. That's where I desired to be. And I didn't know how to get there. And I reached out to every resource I possibly could at that time. And I got nowhere so fast and so frustrated. And I felt deflated. And what I didn't know, I didn't know. So what I found out, what moved me from point A to point B and got me headed in the right direction, and it wasn't poof overnight, it wasn't instant gratification, it took a little bit, but it transformed my life. So I was able to leave a place that I was just so miserable, emotionally and spiritually, dark circles under my eyes, to move forward. And I used it to do step by step, every single day process. Now, did I do it every single day? No. I would do it for a couple of months and get myself going in the direction I wanted. And I'd work on that for a while. And then I'd use it again and move, move, move. It's forward progress every single day. You've got to take the steps. But first, you have to know where to go. You have to know how to point yourself in the right direction. And you have to take action. It's that simple. And I'm going to tell you that if you don't take action, you're going to end up like a guy named Jonah. I got to hear some more about him last Sunday. It was fantastic. But Jonah, most of us have heard this story, Jonah and the whale. Jonah was directed by his spirit guides or by God to move in a certain direction because God's spirit source needed to bless some people. And needed a human to do it. And he said, Jonah, go from here to there and do this. And Jonah's like, oh, I don't think so. Because Jonah had free will choice. And Jonah was like going the opposite direction. And if you haven't read this story in a while, you ought to go back and reread it. Because what happens to Jonah is not only does he go in the opposite direction as fast as he can go, but the people who are helping him that happen to be on a boat begin to experience turbulence because of Jonah's decisions. And God's like, no, don't go that way, And so Jonah knew it was him. He knew that he was the one who wasn't going in the right direction. He knew he had turned from the way he was shown to go. And so he confessed to the other people, it's me. And they dumped him into the water, and down he went. And he got swallowed by a big fish. Some people think it's a whale. Okay. But he got swallowed by a big fish. Now you want to talk about being in the most dark, disgusting place. Yuck! Digestive juices all over the place. Yuck! And so Jonah had an attitude adjustment, a timeout. And he said, help, help, and I'll do whatever you want me to do. And so God's spirit or source caused the whale to go over to the shore, I don't know how close, or the large fish, and spit him out. And Jonah got busy with what he was supposed to do. So my question to you is, if you have a lack of self-love, self-worth, and self-respect because of something you're going through now in a toxic relationship. Remember, relationship means relating to one another or something. You can have a toxic relationship with a spouse, with a lover, with a friend, with your children, with your parents, with money, with food. But I'm thinking this is not a good place to have a toxic relationship, okay? But please hear me. If you are ready to take your power back, if you know that you are at the hairy crossroads of, I don't want to be here anymore, but I don't know where to go, I'm going to ask you to take your power back and consider that the universe is supporting us all right now in releasing old baggage throughout all time, dimensions, realities, and lifetimes, as much as you are ready to process right now. For those of you that have cleared Akashic Records before, sometimes you do them one or two at a time, sometimes you group them together. This is like going to one of those places where you get fitted for a dress or a suit, and you stand up there and there's a mirror here and there's two mirrors here, and if you look down, you can see yourself forever, right? This is one of those times. The records are so accessible. This energy is pervasive and is preparing us to move forward. If you want to know what's next, what are we moving forward to, then join us on the Energy Shift Inner Circle, because we're going to talk about this is some amazing stuff. Leading edge. Okay? So go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on Energy Shift Inner Circle and join us for a month. Find out what's behind door number 2, right? But for those of you that are ready to take your power back right now, I'm going to help you make a very nice first step. I'd like for you to believe in yourself. I'd like for you to know it is okay to grieve the loss of relationships. It is okay to work through that and eventually forgive yourself. But let's take our power back together. So I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. In my power as a child of God, or spirit, or the universe, I take back my power now that I've given to anyone else throughout all time. I ask this power be brought back to me now. And if it feels too much, put it in the, ask it to be put in the appropriate place. So not all the lifetimes are convergent. In my power as a child of the universe, spirit, God, source, I take back all my power I've given to anything else throughout all lifetimes. I take this power back now. Good. I hope some of you are feeling that with little tingling sensations, or like Coke bubbles rising up, or goose pimples. Okay. One other statement for taking your power back. I take my power back now. I am on the road to recovery. I accept myself. I accept love. And for some of you, that might bring tears to your eyes. So, for those of you who know how to clear Akashic Records or meditate, and you're ready to align yourself to all the lifetimes where you were having challenges with self-love, then either go into a meditation or line up the records and see the records being cleared and the wisdom retained. Line them up, clear them out. Now is the time to rid yourself of old, unwanted, unresolved karma from all lifetimes. I will be available to help you. Before you book with me, I'm going to ask you to write out your intention. I'd like to clear anything blocking me from self-love. I'd like to clear anything that creates a space where I'm not loving myself. Formulate what you would like to have taken out of the records and replaced with love and centered peace. Then call the bookstore tomorrow in Denver, Colorado. It's Mountain Standard Time. They're open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And their number is 303-964-9339. If you're already on my emailing list, make sure you look for the email either yesterday or I will send out another one again tomorrow for a discounted session. I don't offer these very often, and today I had a lot of people emailing me and filling up in my schedule for Thursday and Friday. If you're on my emailing list, Thursday, I sent out a discount coupon for registration for a 1-hour session. So if you're not on my emailing list yet, you missed out on a $30 savings. But you can get in on the next one. Just go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click down on the emailing list. And not only will you get videos like this one, you will also receive discounts. You'll get additional information about what's coming up and what's going on in the universe and how that looks for you. So get signed up. And I'll send out that code again if I have any spots left. Okay. So I really super appreciate everybody being here today. And please, if you find this at all valuable, share the video. I would really appreciate it if you did, and share the love, because people are wanting to know what's happening. You know, they're wanting to know, why am I feeling this way? So it's a good time to share the truth with others. It's a good time to let them know that what they're feeling is quite normal, and that, you know, God's spirit source is asking them to love themselves and to release any toxicity in their lives. And in wisdom, if you're struggling with a relationship of any kind, seek wise counsel, get some help. You know, I'm not asking you to just jump and run out the door, you know, as fast as you can go. You have to do it in wisdom. I got some counseling and some help myself. So that's it. I will look now into the feed and see if there's any questions. So if you have any questions, please put them down here and let me know. And I will answer as many as there are. Let's see here. Looks like I have one question. It says, I have been getting visions, but I can't remember them when I snap out of it. Is this normal or past life record? Okay, looks like Kat is asking the question. Kat, this is an excellent question. It happened to me the other night. I had asked for some of my records to be cleared while I was sleeping, and I did have very vivid dreams, very vivid, as you call it, visions. And I thought, oh, I'm going to remember this so I can journal it when I get out. And within a few minutes after waking up, it just faded and it was gone. So yes, that can be past life flashbacks. It can be Akashic records, especially if you're working on yourself, asking for God's spirit or source to help you move forward in your life. I'm hoping that's answering your questions. Let's see what we've got here. The next question is, Angie says the energy was crazy this afternoon with the storm, several not so happy customers. So yes, here in Colorado, we did have an afternoon thunderstorm, and it was really beautiful, an amazing, spring shower. But yes, the energies have been a little bit off. Let's see here. Any other questions? Let's see here. Deborah says, I'm having a toxic relationship with my health. Okay, Deborah, generally speaking, when people are having health issues, that has to do with self-love. Because if you love yourself, you're going to do more to take care of your body, of your vehicle in this 3D world, which anchors you in the experience here and now, which is so super exciting in this age of Aquarius and where this world is headed. Just an amazing things that are going to be transpiring. So keeping our physical health is a good thing to do. And if you have a toxic relationship with your health, it means that there's something going on within you. And I'm more than happy to help you with that in a private session so we can get down to the bottom of it. Hi, Beth. Good to see you. Let's see here. And that looks like that's it for today. So thank you so much. Again, a few housekeeping reminders. If you are really wanting, if you really want to know what is going on, why are the Akashic records lining up, to be cleared almost instantly across all time periods? Why would that be accessible now when it wasn't accessible 20 years ago, when we could just clear several at a time or maybe one at a time? And this is like, just eons and eons of lifetimes all lining up to be cleared so easily and so effortlessly at the same time. You want to know why? Then join us with the Inner Circle. We have so much fun every Wednesday night at 7:30 Mountain Time, just talking about what's happening and how we're feeling and not feeling so alone. So please come and join us. And again, I'll be at the bookstore at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver this Thursday and Friday. And you can call the store if you want to get on the list of available appointments. And again, I will be sending out an email with a discount code so you can register online for almost a $30 discount. So you won't want to let that go. And I am filling up fast to have a lot of people replying from the first email that I sent out on Monday. So have a great, wonderful night. Big hugs and kisses. Really love everybody. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be doing another Akashic Records reading here on this platform where I'll answer at least one question from as many people as I can get to. And I will be hosting a contest coming up soon. I'll announce that next week where you can register to win an Akashic Records reading. But remember, if you register for that one and you win, it'll be live here on Facebook, okay? So you'll have to be willing to come on with me live. Anyway, have a great, wonderful night. Love each and every one of you, and safe journey to all my fellow sensitives and empaths.